Hello and welcome to Social Buzz Extra here on Global Television. I am Ogochukwu Mobono, and you know how we do it here on Social Buzz Extra. We'll bring you all of the highlights, of trending issues happening on social media. If it's buzzing, just know that I'm there and I'm bringing it down to your doorstep. All you need to do to be part of this conversation is to make sure that you're watching Global Television on DSTV channel 365, or you can watch on Star Times channel 276. Also, if you do not have access to these two platforms I just mentioned, you can also watch on your phone, your laptop, your palm top, your tablet, whatever it is you are holding and it's handy for you right now. You can go to YouTube. It's Global TV NG on YouTube. Make sure that you're watching, subscribe to Global Television and click on the bell-like icon. It's going to notify you whenever we come your way next time. Okay, let's dive into the topic of the day properly. Today, a man has shared his experience at a driving school. A man who recently enrolled in a driving school has shared his experience, showing how the instructor handled trainees during lessons. In the video he posted, the instructor could be seen snapping at his students over minor mistakes and even smacking their hands when errors were made, despite the learners being adults. Well, I understand that people learn differently, but this particular word is, I don't know, when I watched the video, it was really a very funny one for me. It was so hilarious. So I just want you to also, see this video. Let's take a look at the video.
I know that you hate me.
No turn the steering for me. Put your hand for me. Don't turn it for me. You are turning the steering wrongly. I'm holding it stable for you. You are dragging it for me. So where? Common sense. If you are intelligent, you are not intelligent, you know in driving. You are driving like a blind person. Turn your steering. Free hand. You don't say anything at all. Flush down. You don't say anything at all. Straightforward. This is no tracks. 3 is straightforward.
All right, we've seen that video, and even the last clip of the last part of that clip even made it more, very funny. I understand that people learn differently, but then smacking and also using, okay, even if you smack, I don't mind. It's not a serious one, but there are some words you don't use for people, especially adults, even a child, even if the person is younger than you. There are some words that are just demeaning, and the person don't feel, good about it. So I'm just going to say that every other person who has an institution like this, a school, for training or, learning how to drive, whether be it learning how to drive or a driving school or whatever kind of school, any institution at all, there are some words you don't get to use for your learners, because honestly, there are some, when you use some words, they feel like, okay, they're not doing good, and it reduces their morale. So most times I think words like encouraging words, okay, you are doing well, but then you should have done it this way. Okay, you are being too fast. I think you should reduce. You always draw them closer before you correct, and when you're correcting, you know the kind of words you are using, because this particular instance now, nobody will want to patronize this man, his driving school anymore. But if he's not even the owner, peradventure is not the owner of the driving school, nobody also wants to patronize. He has he has given a bad PR to the owner of that driving school, and also given a bad PR to, driving school as a whole. So most times I think we should learn so much so that we don't bring bad PR to ourselves and all of that. Okay, so let's take a few comments from social media as regards this topic, and the first comment is coming from the Food Network, and the Food Network NG says, teacher where I pay my hard-earned money, you see that moment he spanks his hand, that's it. Heaven must welcome one of us, and it definitely won't be me. All right, the next one is coming from Oprah's Court, and Oprah says, I have experienced this twice. I left the first place and went to another place, same thing, same thing. I think it is a thing with driving instructors. The last one is coming from Official Teddy Wet, and it says, he nearly bring out belt, flog him, teacher with a touch of anger issue. All right, that's it. I would like us to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll have more story for you. Please stay with us. All right, welcome back from that quick break. And yes, like I promised you earlier, we have stories for you, do not worry. So this one, we're moving over to the Federal Capital Territory, which is here in Abuja. The Federal Ministry of Works has proposed over 500 million naira on training of entrepreneurs. According to the report, the items and services were distributed across select locations within the country's geographical zones. The report states that under the budget items with code number ERGP 122344747, the ministry proposes to supply a yet-to-be-determined number of grinding machines to women in Ndokwa Ukwani Federal Constituency, South-South, for a sum of 35 million naira. It also states that the same amount, 35 million naira, was proposed for the training and empowerment of women on hairdressing, makeup, and soap making in, different parts. In Shandam, also Minkang Federal Constituency of Plateau State, North Central. The budget document also includes a proposal to spend 70 million naira on the empowerment and training of youth and 7 retirees on different skills and trade equipment in Iyamal to Debe in Gombe State, Northeast. The ministry is also to spend 70 million naira on the supply of mini pickup vans, mini shuttle buses, and motorcycles to constituency in Abakaliki Federal Constituency in Ebonyi State, Southeast. There is equally a proposal for the training, sensitization, advocacy, and empowerment of North Central youth against drug abuse in Zamfara State, geographically located in the Northwest, among several similar proposals. The report states, that's what the report, is talking about, how it's going to allocate different amount of money to different constituency. But then again, I'm asking myself, what exactly is going on? We've not seen this. Is this like a strategy for the upcoming election in 2027, or this is just an empowerment? Because that amount of money is much. If we look at that money, you will know that it is much. So what exactly is going on? A lot of persons are talking in the comment section about, the money that has been allocated, and everyone is saying, why are they allocating over 500 million naira? Some people feel like it's a way, to siphon money again. You know how people are really scared? When the government doesn't do anything, they complain that the government is not helping. When the government tries to help, they'll still tell you, oh, the government is siphoning money, things are going wrong. Why would the government use over 500 million naira, to train staff and all of that, or to train entrepreneurs, and also why they're allocating money for all of this? See, it is too much. I think we should try to, applaud the government when they do something good. But I feel like this money is too much for that purpose. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. But, you know, there are some graduates here. Why don't you give them a proper job, you know, if they want to work a proper job? But then I don't mind if when people are doing all of these menial jobs, they are good jobs. Entrepreneurship skills is a very good one. I also am an advocate for entrepreneurship skill, but proposing 500 million naira, well, we are going to know if this, you know, this money is being carried out the way it's supposed to be. If they allocate it to the respective quarters and constituency that they intend to allocate it to. We are seeing 70 million naira for, you know, Gombe, we are seeing for Delta State, we are seeing for Abakaliki, we are seeing for Plateau, and we are asking ourselves, also Zamfara is there too, Zamfara is not left out, and we are asking ourselves, will this money go into the right channel, and are we going to see the evidence of this money? Because sometimes it's just audio. We just hear all of that on newspapers, on social media, and we don't get to see anything live. So we want to see it play. Don't just say it, sir. I understand that you know, the Minister of Work is actually David Umar. He is doing so much. I appreciate him for that. But we want to see that this particular one is not audio and it's being carried out properly. All right, let's go into comment section. Let's take some comments from, you know, our comment section, and this one is coming from Ostech Technology Security, and Ostech Technology Security says that is what they plan to do with the poor people tax money. This one has come again, even with the cry emoji there. Poor people tax money. Okay. See, the truth is, before now, a lot of persons have been paying tax. It's just that right now they made it mandatory that every business owner should pay tax. There are some business owners that are making money and they are not paying tax. Okay, so they just made it like officially that most of this business, you know, this small scale business owners should pay at least an amount, a certain and designated amount of you know, that should be going into tax. At least if they are making money from, if you are making profit, you should be paying an amount for tax. And if you go to you know, the Western countries, you hear that everyone pays tax. The footballers pay tax. We know that one. You get to hear, sometimes we even hear that some footballers are owing tax. They are owing the government tax. Like everybody pays tax. If you are making any money, you pay tax. The thing is, when you pay this tax, hope it is being used properly. We don't want to hear that our tax is not being used properly. That's just the problem. You can pay tax. It's not a problem to pay tax, but make sure that the money is channeled, because I cannot suffer. If I'm a business owner, I won't be suffering to make sure that my business is going well, but yet there's no, I'm not seeing, and I'm paying maybe an amount of tax that is even big, and I'm not even seeing the dividend of my taxes. So everybody wants to see that, yes, my tax is being used properly. There are good roads, there are good schools for my children to go, there are good roads for me to, you know, work on, the street lights are working, I have a good housing scheme, I can actually go rent or buy a house, something that is flexible for me, maybe mortgage or something that is flexible. I can get loans whenever I want, hospitals are working, the doctors are being paid well and all of that. Yes, that's what we want to see, a working system. So if I'm paying tax, then there should be a working system. So there is not a problem for, you know, for you to pay your tax. So that person is already crying that that's what they use taxpayers' money to do. Sorry, please do not cry about that, okay? All right, let's move over to the next topic, which is NCAA reacts to trending video online. There's a trending video since yesterday. I watched that video yesterday and I was like, what's going on? I saw the video first before I saw the reply from, you know, the spokesperson of NCAA, that's Michael, by the way. You know, when I saw that video, I said, what's going on here? I was thinking maybe someone was high, you know, when some persons take some kind of drug, maybe he's under the influence of drugs. I was thinking, I had so many thoughts in my head until I had to read through and I saw that, okay, something has happened in the aviation sector. Again, we had different clips of, you know, different episodes of the aviation sector. As at last year, 2025, we had Cam 1, Cam 2, Cam 3, and all of that, and it kept on going. Now it has started again. So the NCAA spokesperson, Michael Achimogu, reacts to trending video of frustrated Nigerian man throwing airport barricades away following this cancellation of his flight. That's what brought the quarrel. They cancel your flight, you have issue. They don't cancel your flight, you have issue. Okay, I understand that sometimes flights are being cancelled, but please, do we even try to think of or try to find out the reason why most flights or sometimes they cancel your flights? If you ask questions, let's try to ask questions. Don't just start, behaving as though you own the world. Even if you own the world is guided by principles, whether you like it or not. If you ask questions properly, it may be that that flight at that time is not healthy to take off. It may be that something happened. It might be an emergency. So sometimes even for the good of, they don't just cancel flights. It's usually they think about the people boarding that flight before flights are being canceled. I understand how painful it can be, sometimes, especially when you have a meeting and you have to meet up with that meeting. You have something urgent to do in the other states where you are going to. You have to meet up. I understand how painful, and you have to wait maybe more hours or even go the following day. You get it. So I know how painful it could be, but I think we should all try to calm down in this country. Everybody's blood is hot. We should try to calm down, okay? So let's take a look at the video of this young man destroying the airport's properties before the reaction.
You people want to start booking other people. Well, I'm not attentive. Where is this flag that is using? There was this something like yesterday.
What do you think about that behavior? And how does that behavior, destroying equipment at the airport, help his case? Unruly behavior will not change the fact of a cancellation or a delay. Instead, it could land you in jail. When you destroy property like this at the airport, what you're doing is that you are ensuring a disruption to the schedule of other passengers who are not on your own flight. How does this help our case? In 2026, we should not be seeing behavior like this. We should not be seeing behavior like this. That's why there's a mechanism by which airlines can be handled, called to account if the fault is theirs. And it's high time we begin to understand that a lot of disruptions are not the fault of the airlines. This is wrong on every level and should not be encouraged. Nigerians were better people than this. Thank you.
All right, we've seen that video online, and that's the reaction, from the NCCA spokesperson, Achimogo Michael, who is not happy about it. Of course, nobody will be happy at the sight of, that particular video. You destroying things and making a mess in the airport where you have dignitaries and some other persons, waiting for their flights to. And you're not the only person in that particular flight. I know you are not the only person who boarded that. So, of course, you shouldn't do things like that. All right, let's take comments from social media as regards this. And the first comment is coming from Incredible MC Jolly. MC Jolly says, why airlines need to do better and communicate better. We must also know that sometimes the delay or cancellation happens beyond their control sometimes. It could be a suddenly noticed fault. I had boarded an Ibom air flight before and the door was shut for takeoff, only for the pilot to announce that we disembarked due to a certain electrical or mechanical fault that would allow both engine starts, that won't allow both engine starts, whatever. Me, I rush come down as I know one day inside breaking news of plane crash and planes aren't much within our airspace. So rerouting another immediately, no easy. That's just it. It's for your own good, Mr. Man. All right, the next person is D. Humorous, and D. Humorous says, if only these statements started with, I understand your frustration, however, and you correct with a much lighter tone. Communication is an artistic work carried out with a level of homiletical skills. All right, I understand and I appreciate that. I'm sure the spokesperson of the NCAA must have taken note of this particular comment because I like it, honestly. Like I said earlier during the, the driving school, video, I said most times when you want to correct people, yes, you want to correct them, but bring them closer, then you correct them. Because if you do that, from afar, you're actually causing a gap, like a rift between you and the person you're correcting. So yes, let's be on the let's try to fine-tune it. Let's have a very good tone when trying to correct, okay? Because two cannot obviously make a right. The last comment is coming from Olo1, and Olo1 says airlines should be held responsible and there should be tangible compensation for people for whatsoever default. So I think the aviation minister, NCAA, FAN, and other bodies responsible for upholding of laws and others should guarantee Nigerians hope in the aviation sector. All right, everyone is going to take note. He said NCAA, FAN, and everyone in charge. Make sure that you take responsibility for it. They've all noted, we've all noted, but just know that most times when your flight is cancelled, it's not because the airline authorities feel good cancelling your flight or making you go late for your meetings or schedule. All they need to do is to protect your life and also the life of the people involved in that particular plane. All right, that's all we have for you today on Social Buzz Extra. Do not forget, I told you earlier to be part of the show. Make sure that you're watching on different platforms like we have on our screen. But please, if you did not watch earlier, maybe you're just joining, don't worry, you still not missed out on anything. You can watch on YouTube. It's Global TV NG. Make sure that you subscribe to Global TV NG and turn on the bell like icon for all notification of what is happening here on Global TV NG. I am August Kumobnat. Like, come your way next time. Please stay safe. Find no trouble. Bye.